Olivia.
And I'm Jake.
And this is All About Animals. I was lucky enough to get close to the Przewalski horse. It was really interesting that being truly wild, not even the keepers can touch them. So Mark, can you tell us a bit about the Przewalski's horse?
The Przewalski horse comes from Central Asia, through areas through Afghanistan and also parts of the Gobi Desert as well. And they're the last true wild horse left today pretty much in the world anywhere.
So why are they the last true wild horse?
They're quite an ancient breed, and they branched off to their own branch of lineage about 10,000 years ago.
So why are they called Przewalski's horse?
Back in 1850, a man called Nicholas Przewalski found some bones that were from an unknown kind of horse back in those days. He then named this new horse after his own last name. They're therefore called now the Przewalski's horse from Mongolia.
Are there any left in the wild?
Sadly, no. These things are pretty much extinct these days back in the wild as well, and therefore any horse born inside the area here is a big success.
So what are the main differences between Przewalski's horse and the domestic horses?
Pretty much their size. These things are quite a small horse by their stature anyway. And also there's small differences too with them, things like their ear length.
So do these horses eat the same foods as domestic horses?
These things, being a horse, have the same basic diet as most other equids too.
And what's an equid?
Equids are pretty much horses, so things like zebras and donkeys too. They're all pretty much equids. They're all pretty much of that same basic horse family.
So do these horses get winter coats?
They do indeed, yes. Winters here get quite cold and they keep warm by growing a nice shaggy coat too during those winter months.
Thanks, Mark. I learnt a lot about these equids.
My pleasure. Nice to meet you.
I'm here with my friends Maddie and Belle, and they've just bought a new puppy, and she's a little bit crazy. So I've asked Jenny to come and help.
Hi, you girls. Olivia's asked me to come to give you a hand today. What can I help you with?
Bob, she's always jumping up, and she never comes when she's called.
So lots of people have problems with dogs that are jumping up because they're keen to see us. So what we're going to do is train her to have her feet on the ground, and then she'll get something. Okay, girls, so you can see how that works. Where we have the treats down low because that's where the dog will put its nose, so that's where its feet will stay as well. How does that work?
Well,
excellent. Well done.
Great job.
Well done. So you need to use her name so that she understands to give you the attention.
So how long should we do it each time?
Just a couple of minutes is plenty, because otherwise the dog will get bored with it and then it makes it harder.
So Jenny, now we've looked at jumping, what's next?
The other question that the girls had a problem with was for Missy to come on a recall, to come when she's called. So we can do that between us and we'll teach her to come to us. So if you all have your treats, and just separate a little bit out and having your hand down low and saying, Missy, come, in a nice bright voice. Would you like to start, Olivia?
Missy, come. Missy, come.
Yes.
Good girl. Yeah.
Belle?
Missy, come.
Beautiful.
Great job.
Well done.
Missy, come.
And Olivia?
Good girl. Missy, come.
Well done.
Good girl.
Well done.
Good
So she absolutely understands what you want her to do. Your hand being down shows her to come to your hand. Well done, girls. That was really good. Good job.
While we're at school, Missy gets a bit bored and starts chewing everything. Is there anything we can do?
That's another great question, girls. So this is an environmental enrichment toy that I was telling you about. And how we use this is we stuff it with a biscuit so that during the day when you're at school, Missy can have a chew of it and it keeps her busy throughout the day. See how she loves that. Beautiful. Great. That will keep her busy.
Oh, and Jenny, in the mornings when we're trying to get ready, she's really annoying and she just wants to play. So what should we do?
That's so good because that's just typical puppy behaviour. So what we would do is give her breakfast in a toy like this, and then we screw the lid on and we put it on the ground, and then she can play with it, and she just knocks it around and gets her treats out of it throughout the day.
Oh, that's really clever. Thank you. What's in there? So if you own a puppy that's a bit of a terror, try some of the things you've seen here today. You never know, it might make both your lives happier. To find out where to buy these great enrichment toys, check the list of pet stores on our website at allaboutanimals.tv.
So thanks, Jenny. Oh, that was great.
You're very welcome, girls.
Hey, did you guys know that Jake visited a puppy school the other day? Really? Yeah. Cool.
Hi, I'm here with Jess, an expert on dogs, and I've come to chat to her about responsible dog ownership. Hi, Jess.
Hi, Jake. Responsible dog ownership means that you're committed to your dog for life. You have to have lots of time every day to feed and exercise it, groom it all the time, and take it to the vet.
So, Jess, how many different dog breeds are there, and which ones are better for kids?
There are over 160 dog breeds in Australia, and some of the more popular ones include Cavaliers and Golden Retrievers, but the most important thing is to look for a dog with a really good temperament.
What does temperament mean?
The temperament is the dog's personality, so you're looking for a dog that is happy and patient.
I know everyone likes to own puppies, but what are the most important things about owning a dog?
Well, before your puppy comes home, the first thing you should do is make sure that your house is really safe for your new puppy, so they can't get into any medications or anything like that, and make sure that you've got everything ready to make their home nice and comfortable, like their food bowls and beds. You should also take your puppy to the vet within a few weeks of getting it to make sure that it's nice and healthy and get its vaccinations organised. The vet's a really good place to ask questions about feeding your dog as well.
Now, I remember taking my dogs to puppy preschool. That was fun and very adorable. What are some of the things that people will expect when they take their dogs to puppy preschool?
Well, puppies learn about all other sorts of puppies, new places and new people. And when the owners of the puppies come, they can learn about nutrition, looking after their dog's dental care, about vaccinations and worming protocols, and also about some basic obedience such as sitting and staying.
Coming up, a radio interview at SAFM, then a walk in the park with host Hayley Pearson and her pooch Millie. Minton Farm Rescue is a volunteer organisation that rescues, rehabilitates and releases animals back into their natural habitat. On any one day, there could be any number of animals being cared for. I reckon that's a big job for even the most committed volunteer. We're here to find out more about the great work they do. So how many animals do you rescue each year?
Oh, we can rescue between 600 and 1,000 in 1 year. Just depends on the weather, how many little orphan animals come in.
So where'd this little guy come from?
This little fella came from Globe Derby, standing on the white line in the middle of the freeway, just born. So his mother had given birth on the truck and he shot out the rails, and somebody stopped and picked him up and saved his life. So he's a lucky little lamb.
Yeah. What type of animals do you rescue?
We are a native animal rescue centre, so we do kangaroos and possums and eagles and kookaburras and tawny frogmouths mostly. But if an animal is in need of help, then we will help it and then try and find a new home for him. He's polishing that off, isn't he? You tip it right up, that's right, you won't get the air. He's about a week old now, so he gets stronger every day, this one. And the little girl that rescued him put that on him. Yes.
So what happens to the animals once they've been rescued?
Well, first of all we put them in our hospital and stabilise them, and then we try and get them strong. So we put the birds in big flight cages so they learn to fly again, and we try and get them back home where they came from. But if they are not fit enough to go home, then we'll try and find a new home for them that's suitable for them, or we'll house them here if they're happy in captivity.
So what type of bird is this one?
This is a tawny frogmouth, and we get a lot of tawny frogmouths in because they try and catch insects in the car headlights when they're driving in the night, so they get hit by the cars. And quite often we'll get the little young ones when they're just out the nest because they can't fly properly. And it's really hard to get them back into the wild if you can't.
I got too early.
Can't guarantee that their mum's there to look after them if the mums get killed. Well done. Now, Olivia, we should be able to put some meat on the table here and just probably eat out your hand as well, if we're lucky. Hey, Bubby. Hello, darling girl. Hello, darling girl. Here's a girl. These guys have all been hand-raised from tiny little things, or they've had injured wings or injured eyes, and that's why they haven't been able to go back into the wild. Oh, you could hand feed the one on the poop.
If you'd like to help Minton Farm, check out their website at mintonfarm.com.au to find out how. Our viewers told us that they had big problems with stray cats sneaking in through their cat doors, eating their cat's food and weeing everywhere. So I started an investigation to find something to help, and guess what? I was successful. I found a really cool cat flap that can only be opened by your cat's microchip. Basically how it works is that you scan your cat's microchip into it once, and then it's saved. So every time your cat goes near the door, the microchip is read and the door opens. Voila! No collars needed either. This would definitely keep the strays out. To find out where to buy this awesome cat flap, check out the list of pet stores on our website at allaboutanimals.tv.
Go on, let's go.
All right, Jake and Olivia, we're here today at the K9000 point operated dog wash, and we're going to wash a couple of puppies.
Yeah.
And we're going to see who can come up with the cleanest dog at the end of it.
Cool.
Okay, let's go.
It's going down.
You're on.
Okay. So Tim, we've just finished cleaning our dogs and it's super easy. What are some of the other benefits?
Well, K9000 is such an easy way to wash the dogs, and it's very convenient. They're in lots of locations.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just the whole fun, happy experience of being able to wash your dog in all the locations that they're at.
Yeah.
So Jay, we must have the cleanest dogs in Australia now.
I should think so.
Yeah.
Did you know that a group of turtles is called a bale? Now I've been doing some research to find a new dog bed, as my other one had seen better days. And I found this smart bed, which as you can see, Soxy loves. These new beds are called smart beds because they provide dogs and their owners with a bed made from moisture and smell resistant fabric, which is easily machine washable, and filled with inlay, which is antibacterial. They can be washed over and over again, so you don't need to replace your dog's bedding so often.
You can check out all the gloss and glamour of this year's Cannes Film Festival. The Backup Plan, not just an okay movie by Jennifer Lopez.
I went to meet the guys from SAFM Breakfast Crew to see what they get up to in the mornings. Then Hayley and I went for a walk with her very cute dog, Millie.
She's not a very pretty dog. Not a pretty dog.
Yeah, she's a bulldog. You'll love her. She's very nice and she's a little bit fat.
So Hayley, who is this you've brought with you today?
This is my Aussie bulldog called Millie.
She's so cute. How old is she?
She's 4.5. She'll be 5 in September. We got her when she was about 7 weeks, I think. And she came from Sydney on a plane, and she came in one of these big cages. She was about the size of my fist, so she was this little ball of wrinkled dog at the end of the cage. She was so cute.
Aww. Has she ever come to work with you?
She has actually, because I know it sounds silly, but I've kissed her on the mouth. I love her so much that I kiss her on the mouth. And the people I work with think it's funny, so I brought her into work one day on SAFM and got one of my co-hosts, Craig, to kiss her on the mouth. She loved it.
Does Millie do any funny tricks?
She does do one thing where I sit down and she sits on my lap like a baby and just sits there like a little fat baby and just goes and sits there like a Buddha, and it's so cute. She's like a big teddy bear.
What does she eat?
Her favourite food is anything. Millie eats anything, and I'm talking vegetables, anything. She loves tissues. That's one of her favourite foods, is eating tissues.
So Hayley, you're having a baby, aren't you?
Yes.
When will the baby be due?
November 3, and we find out in a couple of weeks if it's a boy or a girl, but we're going to keep that a secret from everybody.
Thanks, Hayley, for bringing in Millie. It was really interesting to learn about your dog.
No worries. I think she likes you. Anytime, Olivia.
Stay with us as Olivia watches a little puppy get put under anaesthetic and then have her hips x-rayed to check for any problems. Then I show you this week's viewers' pets from all around Australia.
This week's native Australian animal is the yellow-footed rock wallaby. So Jan, are yellow-footed rock wallabies endangered?
Well, they're vulnerable, and the reasons why is that there's competition with their food, and that's with the goats. They seem to want to eat the same foods as rock wallabies. The foxes can wipe out a lot of animals as well.
So I know that yellow-footed rock wallabies are native to Australia, but what about the others?
Well, goats were brought over many years ago, and now they're in plague proportions in some areas, and so we're having to go out and eradicate them. But also there's foxes, and they've come across as well, and of course they'll kill our yellow-footed rock wallabies. And bunnies, or little rabbits, of course, they're eating all their grasses as well, so it's another competition for food.
What food do rock wallabies eat?
Well, most of what they eat here is hard vegetables, so there's carrot and parsnip, turnip and swede, lots of greens. They've got grass out there, and we give them maize, which is really hard and really good for their teeth, and we give them a lot of browse, so there's a lot of old branches that we use that they'll eat all the bark. Right, just bend down here, take some food and put that in your hand. This is Jemima. She's got a 3-month-old Joey on board.
Mm.
She's one of the hand-raised animals. So there's a special breeding program in this yard with these yellow-footed rock wallabies. They actually carry a Victorian wallaby called the brush-tailed rock wallaby. And we've been releasing them in the Grampians for the last 3 years. So they're all involved with a recovery program to increase our numbers of the brush-tailed rock wallabies. This is Spice. She's come to have another look. So all of these animals are carrying a pouch young at the moment. You can help yourself. As you can see, they'll do anything for these pellets. They scratch me.
So how many yellow-footed rock wallabies are there in the wild?
In South Australia, there's about 2,000.
Okay.
But that's also depending on what the conditions are like.
Do they live anywhere else?
Apart from South Australia, they also live in New South Wales, but there's not such a large population there.
Why is the breeding program so important?
Well, it's so important because there's not many brush-tailed rock wallabies out in the wild. There's only about 20.
20? Is that all? How big are they when they're born?
Oh, they're only tiny. Only about this sort of size here.
Oh, they're so tiny.
And they stay in the pouch for about 6 months.
How do you check if there's a baby in the pouch?
Well, to pouch check, we need to grab the wallaby, and we just need to put her in the pouch, and then we flip her over, and then you can actually have a look in the pouch. So I'll just get her in the right position first. So I need to sort of lie down a bit, put the towel between my legs. Now, her pouch is here. She's quite okay about it. That's it. She's quite relaxed. You're doing fine. Yeah. See? There's a wallaby in there. Now you see that? That's about 2 weeks old.
No wonder I could feel something in there.
Shall we let her go?
Yeah.
Oh yes, didn't like that at all.
Did you know that a group of chickens is known as a brood, a flock, or a peep? Before puppies can train as guide dogs, they have to pass a physical test. This test determines whether the dogs have hip dysplasia and will develop arthritis when they are older. If they do have this, they can't be trained to be a guide dog. The test involves putting the puppy under anaesthetic. The vet puts a catheter into the puppy's leg, as well as an oxygen mask over its face to make the anaesthetic safer. It's then hooked up to an ECG machine that monitors its heart rate, breathing and oxygen levels, and the vet nurse checks its temperature regularly. Towels, blankets and bubble wrap are used to keep it warm. The puppy is then placed on the X-ray table in the radiology suite. Here the puppy is having X-rays taken of her hips for scoring, which checks how well the head of the leg bone fits into the hip socket. This needs to fit tightly to reduce the chances of problems when the puppy is older. After the X-rays are all finished, the puppy is taken into ICU where she'll rest until the anaesthetic wears off.